Welcome into the Todd Bowles Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Todd Bowles. So big picture, what kind of stands out to you about this game now?
Turnovers. Obviously the turnovers and the missed opportunities, the two busts on defense in the first half. Obviously the kick, the field goal, just turnovers, too many mistakes. You can't turn the ball over 3 times and then expect to win.
What was your message to the team in the locker room afterward, knowing that even despite the loss, everything is still ahead of you guys?
Like, we shouldn't even be looking at Carolina. We should be looking at ourselves and trying to correct that part of it. And once we start doing the little things right, we'll be a better football team. We did it right in the first half of the season, regardless of injuries. We do it right in the second half of the season, we'll be fine. And that's what we got to focus on.
I know the opening drive offensively lasted 14 plays. It was tied for the longest touchdown march of the season in that category, third longest in terms of time elapsed. Just a beautiful drive ending in a touchdown to start with. What went so well on that drive in particular and the game plan going into it?
Execution. We executed very well in all phases, running and throwing the football, and then we kind of sputtered after that.
Yeah, what led to kind of the shift or change after that to have had such a great drive and then go quite a while without a touchdown offensively after that?
Couldn't quite get the run game intact right there, and then third down, we couldn't make a bunch of plays that we needed to make.
Tell us about the Chris touchdown and what he did so well on that play.
He bodied him out pretty well. He had him covered pretty good. Baker put it in a spot where only Chris could get it, and he's one of our best hands guy, and he made a heck of a catch. And
then how about his 59-yard play at the end of the fourth quarter?
Great. He got it to the playmakers. It was a 5-yard pass. He turned it into a 60-yard pass. Turned on the Jets right there. It was good to see the juice in that. He gave us a chance.
Do you feel like he now looks like the Chris Godwin of pre-injury?
I think he's always looked like that. You just remember he was injured, and so you kind of take it easy, but he looks great. He really looks great.
Jalen McMillan also got his first career 100-yard game, career high in catches and yards. Why do you think this was a game that lent itself to a lot of production from Jalen?
Very good route runner. The opportunities were there for him. He took advantage of them. They were shielding Mike and Chris a little bit more, and then J-Mac got open.
I know, especially he came out really strong, that first drive, 3 catches for 39 yards and, career high 79 yards already in that first half. What worked, especially using him to try to get off to that fast start, and maybe how were they covering some of the other guys that enabled him to have those moments?
Well, the play action game was working well. Like I said, J-Mac's one of our best route runners right there. He can get in and out of breaks right there, and the timing was right, and we had good protection.
And how about his 28-yard catch in that fourth quarter drive, the other big chunk play in addition to Chris's?
Huge play going down the sideline. Baker saw him in cover 2. The corner sloughed off. The safety didn't get all the way over. He made a heck of a throw.
To know what he went through with that injury, that not all injuries are created equal in terms of the mental side of it and the recovery and all of that. What has it told you about who he is as a player and just watching him be able to come back at such a high level?
He really cares, and his toughness shows that, his intensity shows that, and the way he prepares really shows that. So for him to come back like that and not miss a beat and be where he was, having to almost not playing again, to come back and still play and help us out during the season and take some hits and still get up and play ball the way he's doing right now has been amazing.
How about Mike's touchdown at the end of the fourth quarter? What did he do well there?
I think they busted the coverage and they left him open, so kind of an easy pitch and catch.
I know that overall in the game it looked like there was some good coverage against him. There were some gaps in really being able to try to get him the ball as often. What were they doing so well against him, or what led to this not being a big Mike Evans game?
They disguised a lot. They leaned his way quite a bit. We just got to find different ways of moving him around and getting him open.
I know that he became just the 10th player in NFL history during this game with 13,000 receiving yards and at least 100 touchdown receptions. And of course, when you think of all of the incredible receivers this league has seen, when you hear numbers like that and hear that he's now just one of 10 to do something like that, what does it tell you about where he's at and just seeing again another person who came back from an injury still playing at a high level?
Just a great testament to him. Like J-Mac, he came back when he was really banged up, and he didn't really have to come back, but he worked his way back and helping us now with a playoff push, hopefully, and he's really making his presence felt.
How about Baker's game overall? I know he had 75% completion percentage, 346 passing yards, each were his second highest outputs in a game this season, but then of course there also were the interceptions. So how do you weigh his overall performance and production looking at those kind of contradictory stats there?
Well, the turnovers are always critical. Anytime you turn it over 3 times, you can't say anything else about the good side of the stats. So, and he understands that and he knows that. So we got to clean the fourth quarter turnovers up.
What did you see from his interception that led to the one that was the throw to Jalen in the second quarter? What happened on that play?
I think the ball hung up there. I think he thought he had more air than under it than he wanted to, and it kind of hung up there, and the DB kind of caught up with it, and he made a great catch.
And how about on the one that was the pass to Emeka in the fourth quarter?
That was just a mistaken ball.
And then how about there was sort of the sack fumble, and not in a quite traditional sense, in the 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter where he had to kind of make that decision. What did you see that had happened on that play and led to that?
Well, Chuk got beat off the line of scrimmage. We got to protect his backside a lot better.
I know that Baker at one point did kind of go off limping, but then the next drive scrambled for a couple third down conversions, including an 11-yarder. So what did you see about his overall health and then the way that affected when he did and did not be able to scramble?
And I'm sure he's banged up. It's like week 16, 17, but, he's a competitor. He's going to go out there and fight and give us every chance to win.
I know that on that same drive where he scrambled for those third down conversions, you guys ended up settling for a field goal after getting first and goal, and Baker ended up taking what was, that was kind of the sack fumble area. What didn't work well overall in that red zone situation to had another kind of first and goal situation, not be able to turn it into 7?
Got to win first downs. We got to win first downs and get at least half of it and get down in there. So once we don't win first downs, it makes second and third down awfully difficult.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here on the Todd Bowles Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the Todd Bowles Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Todd Bowles. I know being without Tristan in and of itself is always a challenge. What were the ways that affected the game planning maybe going in? When during the week did you realize this could be something and how it would affect the actual game?
Well, he didn't practice all week, so Chuk got a lot of reps. It just helps with the communication when you have guys that started, have been in there, but when you don't have guys on the same side, with Chuk being new and Jordan being the left guard and you got 2 backups in there, the communication's probably not as smooth, but Chuk's a fighter. He played a couple weeks ago for us and we thought he'd go in there and did a good job, but he did a lot of good things, but we just got to close the game out.
I know it's kind of easy to say, oh, well, you have all these offensive weapons back after a lot of injuries of, oh, you have Bucky and Mike and Chris and Jalen, but then you've still been without multiple offensive linemen that you planned on starting the season with. How has that affected the way that you would want to use all those different weapons, or is it just the next man up mentality?
It's next man up, but you got to understand what they do well. We got to do a better job of playing to those guys' strengths in the run game as well as the pass game. It just can't go in and just throw it all the time. Not saying we did, but at the same time, those guys get paid to play, and they got to be next man up mentality, and they'll fight for us.
And we talked about how Chukwuma filled in for Tristan. What did you see from the play of your offensive line overall, both run and pass?
Run game, we struggled a little bit. We got hats on people, but sometimes we got knocked back. We got to do a better job there. The pass game, we held up for quite a bit of it. There were a few plays that broke down, especially the last one with the fumble, but we pass protected better than we run blocked.
What was, as far as the running back part of that, I know they ended up, 37 yards between all of them on 13 carries, which is just a 2.8 average. What did you see that was the O-line? What was the running backs? What could have gone better from both ends?
A little of both. We got to hit the holes when the holes are there, and at the same time, we got to create the holes. That makes it tough. Sometimes we jumped out of them. Sometimes there was nothing there, and we just got to take what's given.
I know Tez was able to contribute a 17-yard pass. What did you see he did well on that play, and just overall the role that he now has with so many of those guys back, and the way that you still would like to be able to use him occasionally?
Well, he plays fast. He plays fast, and he's one of our game changers, change of pace guys that comes in, whether it's jet sweep, screens, or something down the field. He can really do those type of things and clear out for the other guys. But in his own right, he's a very good receiver, so it's just hard to get the ball to him when you got those other guys around.
And then defensively, I know you guys held the Dolphins to just 4 of 12 on third downs, the 4th lowest opponent third down conversion percentage for you guys in a game this season so far. What did go well on third downs for y'all defensively?
We executed. We got some rush. We got some rush up front. Those guys executed and got the ball out of his hands.
Can you take us through a little bit of that 63-yard touchdown to Weiss on their second drive, and what didn't go well on that?
It was cover 2. Safety's got to get over the top. He didn't get over the top.
I know Antoine ended up with a pass breakup that forced a punt and a 3-and-out on their first drive. What did he do well on that play, and then just his game overall?
Wynn plays hard. He plays hard. He plays fast. He does a lot of great things for us. He's one of the guys that played very well for us in the game. Everything he does is just impactful on the field, just to see the speed of the game that he plays, and then how smart he is when he plays that game. So he always gives us a boost.
I always know guys don't care about their individual performances or accolades, despite if the wins aren't coming. But how excited were you for him to get a Pro Bowl nod when there have been seasons that he's played unbelievable and even gotten All Pros, but not gotten that, and just to know why this year felt like a year he was able to deserve that Pro Bowl and get that nod?
Well, he stayed healthy all year, number one. He stayed healthy all year. He definitely had a great grasp of the defense. He understood where he needed to be on the field from a position standpoint. That didn't spark a bunch of big plays, but that sparked a bunch of consistent plays for him, and where they can go the other way, and that really said a lot about his growth as a player.
I know their first drive of the second quarter, there was the 23-yard pass to Dulcich and a 32-yard run by Wright. What happened on those couple plays in that drive?
Well, we missed the tackle in the hole on a 32-yard run, and on the pass, we busted the coverage as well.
I know you were able to hold them, though, to a field goal when they ended up getting 1st and goal from the 5, and I do feel like there have been several drives like that this year that you guys have been able to hold them in those pretty tough 1st and goal situations. What went well on this particular one where you guys were able to hold them?
Sam made a great play on 3rd down on the screen play when he came up the field, and he tackled him before the lineman got there.
So overall, do you feel like red zone defense, where do you feel like your unit has been this year, and what have they done well, and what would you like to see improved?
It's up and down. I think we're very good on 1st and 2nd down. 3rd down, I think we can improve a lot more. It's gotten a little better, but we can still improve a lot more in that area.
I know their second drive of the second quarter, there was the passes of 15 and 19 to Achane and 13 to Dulcich. What do you remember about that drive and some of those plays?
Achane, we just missed tackles. It's hard to get that guy on the ground. We really got to get him on the ground. The 13-yard pass was just something that got open, and we just got to cover it better.
And then how about that 11-yard touchdown to Dulcich? What went wrong there?
Should have never happened. Coverage, and we got to play that better. That's a day one install.
All right, we're going to take another break here on the Todd Bowles Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the Todd Bowles Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Todd Bowles. So Logan Hall ended up with a sack to end the first half. What did he do well on that play?
He used his hands. He's a very athletic big man, but when he uses his hands, he becomes very good. So he used his hands and he got off a block.
What are the things about his season that you have been happy to see, and then what are the things that you're still hoping that he could improve in?
Just consistently using his hands. I'm happy to see his effort and his toughness has been great to see this year, because he's been playing injured as well. And the things he does, for him to go out there and fight like he does, gives us a chance every single week. And he doesn't say much about it, but you can count on him, and you know he's going to show up on Sunday.
I know Yaya was able to get a sack early in the second half. That was his team-leading 7th of the season. What went well on that play for him?
He made an inside move. He's very athletic, and the guy barely touched him, and he made a play. The last couple weeks, 5 or 6 weeks, Yaya's been playing great football for us.
Yeah, he's one of only 7 players now this year with at least 12 tackles for loss in each of the last 3 seasons, and he joins players, the other people on that list are, Brian Burns, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, Daniil Hunter, Micah Parsons. To see his name on a list with those people for tackles for loss, in addition to now leading the team in sacks, what does that say about what he's been able to do in his game holistically?
I think he's put the work in. He's really put the work in to be an all-around player, run as well as the pass, and he's going to be a heck of a superstar in this league.
I know JPP, we saw him get a tipped pass breakup. What went well on that play for him, and then just his game overall with the snaps he's getting?
Didn't get much of an opportunity to pass rush, but he's very instinctive, and he knows when the ball's coming out, and he's been very good at tipping balls his whole career, and he got one yesterday.
I know you guys lost Jamel to injury at one point in the game, kind of towards the end of the third quarter. How did that affect what you chose to do with your corners and DBs?
It didn't affect much. Parrish went outside to play in base defense, and then we kind of moved him back inside in nickel and let Vilder go out and play.
And we saw for a while it was Izien instead of Tyke out there. Was that injury-based? Was that situational-based? What kind of led to the decision of having Tyke out and Izien in for a bit?
Just situational based. He got off to a rough start. He's our starting safety going forward. Izzy came in, tried to get a spark that way and make some plays, and he played a decent ball game.
What are the things each of them brings that can mean that sometimes it's good to go with the hot hand in certain situations, that each of them kind of having their own strengths maybe?
Tyke, he is very tough, and he had a heck of a year. He really did. He started out the year like gangbusters. I think he carried us the first 10 or 12 weeks of the season. We thought Izzy can go in and play and give us a spark.
How did your other DBs and corners play in the game in your mind?
I thought Morrison fought. I thought he played very hard. I thought Parrish had an excellent ball game right there. I thought Dean was a little bit up and down. He didn't hurt us. He didn't help us that way. And then I thought Winfield was outstanding.
What are the things that Parrish has had to do that maybe people don't recognize of the challenges of playing that position in this defense as a rookie?
He has to learn to play a little bit of linebacker, a little bit of safety, some corner, and some nickel, and it changes on him on every play. That's probably the most difficult defensive position on the field in this defense right here. And Parrish has come in, and he has not blinked since he's gotten here, and he's been doing a hell of a job at it.
I know special teams wise, there ended up being that field goal blocked. That was Chase's first miss from beyond 50 all year. What does it look like, according to the film, happened on that and the lesson to take from it?
From my point of view, I thought it went out low because they didn't get any penetration, and the guy barely jumped, and he just stuck a hand up, and the ball hit him right in the hand. And I thought it came out a little bit low because if you look at the ones after that, he got a great trajectory on him.
There was also the 47-yard kickoff return for them at the end of the third quarter. What went wrong on that?
Got to make the tackle. We hit him, we stopped him inside the 30, and he bounced off and he ran.
And then how about Riley Dixon's game? I know at one point he had a really nice 58-yarder downed by Hayes just almost at the goal line, but then he also went out of bounds that just netted 27. How did you view his performance?
Yeah, he was, for the most part, other than that one punt, I thought he did a good job, especially pinning them down there.
All right, we're going to come back with just a few more questions about this upcoming game against the Panthers right after this. Welcome back into the Todd Bowles Show. Casey Phillips here with head coach Todd Bowles. It's always got to be a little bizarre to be playing a team 2 times in 3 weeks when that's not the typical for a schedule. What are the things that make it a pro and con for that? And then especially now it being a little bit of a short week, is that helpful? You know them well? Is it rough with it being so much on the line that you don't have that extra day? How does that factor in for you guys?
It's helpful. You know them well. It's hurtful. They know you well. There's a lot on the line. It's doesn't help or hurt. It's winning in and lose or go home, and that's what you want at this time of year. We got a chance to right all our wrongs, and we got a chance to progress to the postseason. So, they got a chance to progress to the postseason. So all hands on deck, and we need everybody there to show up and play well.
What are the biggest things you feel like you learned in the last matchup with them that will apply this time?
I don't think anything that we didn't already know, from that standpoint. Obviously, the quarterback getting out of the pocket was something we knew, but we still couldn't catch him. So we got to make adjustments there as far as how we rush him from that standpoint. And then offensively, they're very tough up front. So we got to figure out a way to work the zone coverages in the back and get guys into open spaces better.
How about Hubbard and Dowdle last game? What were the things that you saw about each of their skill sets and how you guys faced them and what do you want to do against them this game?
Both very tough, both inside-outside runners. I thought we held them down pretty good that game. They didn't try to run it as much, so hopefully we can continue that.
What about Tet McMillan and knowing that he's been definitely one of the people in the running alongside of Mecca for Offensive Rookie of the Year? And what did you see from him in that game and then just the season overall that has made him such a successful rookie?
Huge target, very huge target, very good feet, very good yak yards after catch, and we got to make sure we tackle them.
And how about their defensive front? What are some of the things that you learned from that first game or just are true about them all year?
Hard to move, very tough interior, big outside backers on the outside. They got 3 guys in the middle led by Derek Brown that can really cause havoc in there.
And how about their secondary? What stands out?
Smart, eyes on the quarterback all the time. They can see, so we got to make sure we run good routes and get the ball out on time.
With the game being on a Saturday, how does that affect the schedule and the way you guys try to approach it, both as coaches and then for the players?
Because of the magnitude of the game, it doesn't affect us too much, so everybody's going to do whatever they can to go and play this ball game, but it's just a day ahead of time. We played on Thursday, so Saturday is like a long time away for us, so we'll get ready accordingly and we'll be ready to play.
All right, well, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it, and good luck this next week.
Thank you.